more of just a physical actor, you know what? Because, I mean, stuntmen are stuntmen, and they do some hairy stuff, like catwalking down the street at 60 miles an hour while on fire, you know, like, I don't do that. I'd like to try and light myself on fire. Honestly, I think it'd be so cool, so controlled. But there are things I can't do, and I'm just like, you know what, I'll do whatever I can. But I mean, everything is so rehearsed, and so it's not really that tough. I remember I did when I worked on Alien versus Predator. I did the all the stunts for the Predator. I did this one where I got whipped in the chest with a tail. And I flew back like 15 feet on a wire and landed on the ground, on gravel, and slid backwards. And one of the guys puts there's a big mask on, and he puts it on, and he goes, watch this mask come off, and we're going to have to do it again. And I was like, really? Bam! And it was like, it was a good hit. Like, you're traveling 15, probably from almost to the door, from me to the door maybe, and like probably 5 feet off the ground, straight onto my back. And I was like, all right, and we did that 5 or 6 times. The mask kept screwing up, and I wanted to kill that guy. But like things like that. The one I remember doing was like a decel. It's got like a clutch. You jump off something, and then right at the last second it catches, and so it just looks like you land perfectly. And I jumped. I think it was only like 20 feet. But it was such a weird thing. It's that big 100-pound suit on. And when I tried it in rehearsal, my instant reaction was, as I was falling through the hole, grab on. And it was like shards, and it's just light in my arm. It was like big open gash, and the stunt coordinator just looks at me and goes, learned your lesson, didn't you? Yeah, I did. Things like that. But, yeah, no, you won't do that. The next thing, my first take, I was as small as I could. But yeah, other than that, I can't think of anything that was... I mean, my first stunt ever was the scariest one on camera. Like, don't screw this up, don't screw this up. And that was in the Alien vs. Predator. It was like the one that I had rehearsed, and I was supposed to like come out of water up into a tunnel and like, you know, like up in the air and fly into the wall. And because of the suit filled with water, it was like 300 pounds. And so when we had rehearsed the amount of pressure that we needed to send me up there, it was just normal my body weight. So when we did it, I was like so nervous, ready to go. The coordinator was like, what the hell? It's not my fault, man. I'm ready. I'm on this ride. I can't do anything about it. But it was, he upped it. Yes, sir.
So you said you didn't watch a lot of TV as a kid, so did you read a lot, and you didn't want to read?
I didn't read a lot either. You know what, I've got a bit of like minor ADD. So, as you notice, I'm like doing this while talking to you. It's just like, it's natural. I'm always kind of moving. So, I mean, what did I read when I was a kid? I'm like trying to think. I was just outside constantly, like running around, riding dirt bikes, bicycles, everything I could. What did I read? It's so bad, everyone's saying, you know, but it's like, I just never really read that much. I'd sit there and I'd be like, the person gone off somewhere, but I don't know, I think I remember reading those Hardy Boy books and stuff like that. Those were kind of fun. And when I was real young, I used to love Cat in the Hat, all those Dr. Seuss books, and they still entertain me now. But no, nothing I can really think of that really kind of pulled me in. And, you know, now I try to read a lot more. But back then I was like, it's a waste of time. I could be doing stuff.
Did you have an idol when you were growing up? Anybody?
Not really. That seems so boring. I'm like, not really. I don't think I had idols, but I would, you know, I'd watch like, you know, things and think sports or whatever it is, and I would think, you know, I'd see someone doing it, I'd try to do it, so I'd just kind of copy people a lot of times, but never really had kind of an idol growing up. Not really, to tell you the truth.
So before you were acting, what were you doing at the time?
Man, I was, like I said, I was a bit of a hyperactive kid, so when I was in class, I was just like completely disrupting the class all the time, to the point where my teacher's like, this is ridiculous. Go drown the class. Like, get it out of you. And I was like, there's a class where you can, you know, like, you can just do this, and that's all you get to do all day long. And they're like, oh yeah, cool. So I did that, but it was like bouncing back and forth from acting and sports in high school, and it was, my time was filled with so many different sports and activities, and then acting in school and sometimes outside of it. So I was just bouncing back and forth nonstop.
Yes.
What was it like working on Supernatural?
That was kind of cool. That just came out of the blue. Actually, there was originally going to be one where I was going to be this kind of like, sort of like a mice and men, sort of like a Lenny kind of character who was kind of misunderstood, and apparently I wasn't ugly enough, is what they said. Like straight out, they're like, you're not ugly enough. And I'm like, all right, fair enough, we'll take that as compliment. And it was cool because there was a stunt, that they were going to let me do, where I was going to get dragged behind a car with a chain around my neck. And yeah, everyone's like, that's weird, why would you want to do that? But I was like, I thought it was kind of cool. But and then the stunt coordinator was like, oh, we got something, come on in, and I got something for you, you can sort of play. And it was a lot of fun. Those two guys, Jared and Jensen, are just really cool guys, like totally down to earth. And so I got my throat slashed, which was fun. And then I met them like a couple days later at the bar, and we had a couple drinks. It was a really cool experience, and everyone, it's funny, it's one of those kind of really established shows, and it's cool to be able to be brought on. And you never know, right? Like you're stepping into an office for the first time. You don't really know how you stand in the hierarchy and how you can kind of act. And I went in there, and it was just like, oh yeah, come on in, yeah, nice to meet you, cool, right on, do it, you know. And it's just totally easy. So it was